What's up, YouTube? Back here again with another video, and today we're going to take a look at the Shark by MAKERFIRE. Now, this product, I believe, came on the heels of the Eachine, whatever the heck that thing was called. Came with a little red drone, goggles, and a little controller. This is one branded for MAKERFIRE, and I got it off Amazon for $95.99. Now, you could get the Eachine kit for a lot cheaper off of Banggood and other places, but it was getting late for me at the end of the year, and I wanted to get a little kit for my son to try out, and this is the one I ended up with. So you open this guy up, and I've already been through this. I've been using it, so I can actually talk about it. It comes like this in the kit. All right, the head strap will not be on it. It'll be in a little plastic bag inside of here, but this is how it all comes. You got your controller right here. All right, and this is an altitude hold drone, so they're both spring-loaded, and it's basically one of these standard style little guys, but they kind of added these fancy little sticks on there, and I guess just to make it look a little fancy. So there you go. That's that. Takes 3 AAAs underneath of this screw, and that'll be working. We'll get to that when we get to the function. The little drone. The kit comes with a 220 milliamp hour 35C 1S LiPo battery with a JST 2.0 pitch connector, and that's going to get plugged in right here. The drone is a Tiny Whoop-esque drone, or an Eachine 010 type drone with 4 motors and quad bladed props with 6 by 15 millimeter motors, so they're pretty standard. If you wanted to upgrade this to make it a little faster, the 6 by 15 motors will fit, and these are they have the 1.5 pitch connector just to swap them in and out. Pretty easy, standard fare there. Battery goes here. Now, the way this is made, you're not going to probably be able to use standard Tiny Whoop batteries, and especially because there's no lead, it's actually hardwired there, so that's another thing. So it takes these types of batteries here. And we got this canopy, this plastic canopy up on the top, a little fin. This is your FPV antenna, your FPV camera. It's a standard, we'll look in there. I think it's a 48 channel. So you got all your common bands, A, B, E, F, R, and you'll be able to switch the channels and bands through that button right there. You can see, you can poke through. Long press changes the band, short press changes the channel. Okay, pretty simple. You really don't need to get under the hood for anything because it's already bound. The channel button is right there, accessible, so you're pretty much good to go with that, especially for beginners. Next thing, we have the goggles. Let's take a quick look at these guys. We got an RP SMA, so it's a little more, this is opposite of your Fat Sharks and everything. You get an RP SMA, you got an AV in port. All right, MAKERFIRE branded on the front. All right, nothing really here on the bottom. On this side, you have your charging cable. It takes a micro USB internal battery on the inside. All right, and you do have your voltage display on the inside, which you'll see later, and your frequency number, so you will at least have that OSD, and you can even turn it off. All right, so you got your screen in there. I believe it's a 3.5-inch screen, which might seem small, and yeah, that's probably true, but I actually find it not that bad, and the clarity isn't that bad either. Again, I'm pretty impressed with these goggles for what they are. I mean, look at these little things, right? These little janky goggles here, they work pretty good. Here on the side, we got plus and minus. This will go up in channel, down in channel, and it goes by frequency. So this goes by frequency, not channel. So if you go all the way down, it'll start at 56 whatever, and it'll go up each frequency all the way up to 59 whatever it is. So it's going to jump, each channel is going to jump bands. But you have this scan button, which works perfectly fine. So far so good. I've tried it with a couple different drones on a couple different channels. Push it, it does its thing for a little while, and it seems to tune in on the right channel. It's done it every time for me, no problems. So far so good. Okay, you get a little instruction booklet, and then underneath it here you got 2 little bags, and that's all we got in the box. This bag is for the goggles. You got your RP SMA linear antenna, micro USB charging cable. This is the little pad for the nose if you need to add it, like if you're going to use it for a kid and they need a little extra padding, or you know, you need to pick it up off your face. You can add that in. I found that it was fine for me without it, but I do have a huge nose. And then you get a wet wipe and a dry wipe. Wipe your lens. Okay, let's put this stuff back here. We're going to need that. Alright, now the bag for the drone comes with the little charger, USB. This literally just goes into a USB plug, computer, or a wall adapter, and then your battery goes on here. There's a little light that'll go on, and then it goes off when it's finished charging. Pretty simple. Got our little sticker kit, and you got 4 extra props. But again, these are standard 31mm props. Standard tiny whoop props. So if you go on Amazon or wherever and you order tiny whoop props, you'll be fine. And you get a little Phillips head screwdriver for taking this guy off to get under the hood if you need to, or whatever the case may be. Also, you get these little stickers which we can put on. There you got your little drone, your little tiny whoop sized drone with your little shark sticker. So this is the shark by MAKERFIRE. All right. So let's say you're brand new, right? You took all this stuff out of the package, and it's literally all we've done so far. Get your AAA batteries put in this guy, step number 1. Step number 2, plug this guy into USB right here, charge it up. A red light will illuminate through these fins here. When the red light goes off, it is fully charged. It's a 1-cell battery in there. Okay, first thing, you want to screw on your antenna. Now, I would recommend upgrading this guy. It's RPSMA, but honestly, for this type of drone and where you're going to be flying it, it'll be sufficient. And I'll show you that later. Next thing you're going to want to do, plug this guy in. For these types, you're going to want to plug the drone in first. And it can be stiff, so give it a little wobble. And then shove your battery in there. Now we got a fast blinking light, which you can see. Next, you want to turn on your controller. Up, down. Now this stops blinking, and that has stopped blinking, so now we are bound. Now the important things you need to know, we'll get through it real quick. This button is your rates. You got 3 different speed rates. This button is your flip. When you activate that and then give it a direction, it will do a 360 rotation. This is your kill. This will just drop it out of the air. This will give you a takeoff. So this will just pop it up about a foot or 2 off the ground. This one is headless mode. Or no, this one is headless mode, and then this one is return to home, which basically means it just flies backwards. It's not really a return to home, but if it's facing this direction is return to home. So when it's like this, it's going to come like this, right? So there you go. It's not really that good. It doesn't really work, so don't ever use it. These are the 2 ones you need to know. Take off, and once it gets a certain distance off the ground, when you push this button, it will slowly land. This button just kills it, knocks it out of the air. Now you can also arm it with double out like that, and that will give you control to arm it. All right, or if you push the, it just takes off. Or like I said, this just kind of gives it a little spool. And then you give it up throttle, and it'll start to take off. Actually, that might actually, if you do it this way, that might make it a, that might actually make it into a regular, not altitude hold. I'm going to check that in a second. So let's see, we got through all that, and then calibration is like this. This will calibrate the gyro if it's really drifting, or it's down and down. See, down and down like that. That just calibrated the gyro. And that's pretty much all you need. This does click. Oh, that turns off the LED light. So that the click down on the stick turns on and off your LED light. Okay, so I don't think that deactivates altitude hold. You know, I just think it's regular. We'll test it out when we're flying it around. But the other thing that we need to talk about is how to land it, right? So we talked about those 2 things. You can also just hold the throttle down and it'll slowly descent, and then once it gets to the ground for a second, it will disarm. So you got, this is takeoff and landing. This is emergency stop, and then you can slowly land, unlock, Okay, this unlocks it, and then you can go up and down, or you can just hit this button and take off. This is your left trim, right trim, forward, roll left, roll right, pitch forward, pitch reverse, headless mode, 1 key return, right? Rates, 360 flip, LED light on and off. So that is the basic function of that. Again, let's click on the goggles. Push and hold this front button, and now the picture is on. So you can see down in there, we got a little 3 inch or 3.5 inch with a little Fresnel lens. You can see down in the left corner there, we have the voltage of the battery on the goggles, and then we have the frequency. So this booted up in 5760, which I believe was F2. Okay, on my Fat Shark goggles when I looked. Yeah, so there you, I mean, you got the faceplate. You can see down in there. It's a tiny little screen, but you know the clarity is pretty good. I mean, I'm pretty impressed with this guy overall. You know, again, for the price, I think it's fine. So this button plus will go up in frequency. So now we're at 5765. So like I said, it goes in order of the frequency. Then 5760, 5752, and then 50. You know, and then it jumps around. So if you're not getting the greatest reception, go up a channel and down a channel if you feel like you're not on the right exact channel, and that could help you get a better, closer tuned in frequency. But there you go. And then menu button is in the center, and then you get backlight, brightness, contrast, saturation, and then input AV. You could turn that off if you want to turn off the voltage and the frequency there. And then once you get on a menu item, you hit the plus and the minus to go up and down in those scales. The scan button, again, you just push and it starts its scan. You can see it down there, it says scan. And then that was the 3 channels that it was close to. It'll keep going. $57.60 right onto the same channel again. Sometimes I recommend if you put the drone farther away, it'll have a little bit better time picking the higher RSSI signal. So that's pretty much all there is to that. So there you go. That is, again, press and hold to turn it off. That is the basics on how to get this guy operating, getting it functioning, and getting it in the air, and getting yourself some FPV. It's really, really simple. When the battery dies, it'll just kind of slowly flutter out of the air. If you're looking at it, the lights will blink, and again, it'll flutter out of the air, and then the battery will be dead, and then you can charge it back up and keep it on going. Now, there's no DVR on the goggles, so I will record some DVR. I'll put my phone, I'll use my Fat Sharks, and I'll put my phone in here. I might put that in a review video, and I'll just keep, yeah, that's what I'll do. I'll keep this one, how to get it going, and then review to follow with, I'll show you how the goggles are and how this thing is. I put a few flights through this guy, and honestly, I'm impressed so far. So far, I am very impressed. You know, I got all through my house with this guy with very minimal breakup. You know, so far so good. I would say purchase it if you want to purchase this for your child or something like that. I think you can get it and, you know, be relatively worry-free. Altitude holds good. It's a little easier for kids to fly with altitude hold. You know, throttle management could be the hardest part of it. But there you go. That's what I got. That's the MAKERFIRE Shark. Thanks for watching. See you on the next one.